Hello, everybody. It is time for Oscar Buzz. Hope you all are doing well. This is episode number 16. I am one of the two co-hosts here. Trevor is always with the other co-host because it takes two to make a thing go right. Boom. We have Thomas. Thomas, how you doing?
I'm doing good. We got a lot to talk about this week. Guild stuff, news, couple reviews. Should be a fun show.
Absolutely. Yeah, we just did PGA nominations, which should be coming out before this. So some interesting stuff. DGA, WGA also later today. And the ACE Eddie nominations just dropped, so we will be doing a live reaction to those. Do you want to just go through the guild stuff first?
Okay. Yeah, that seems like a good place to start.
Okay. Do you just want to take the top of the show with the Eddies?
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Okay. This is our live reaction to the ACE Eddie nominations. I have Gold Derby up to compare. All right, so they split it up into drama and comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, we're just gonna jump straight into it, everybody. This is our first time reaction. Okay, so first we have drama, and we have Belfast. Okay, Belfast is here. Dune.
Okay.
Expected.
Yeah.
Power of the Dog better be here. Okay, King Richard's here. King Richard is here.
Okay.
So missed BAFTA long list, but King Richard is here.
Hmm.
No Time to Die. No Time to Die.
No Time to Die. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's good pick.
Okay.
Not.
And then Power of the Dog is the last one. Okay, Power of the Dog is still here.
Okay, so Licorice Pizza is the comedy then.
Huh?
Licorice Pizza is the comedy then, I hope.
I believe so. They typically follow the Globes.
Okay.
So
Coda is as well, I guess. Coda's not maybe up for this award, but still.
Is Coda not... No, Coda was drama at the Globes.
Yeah, exactly.
So Coda, yeah, but Coda is not an editing movie. What else? Nightmare Alley, I guess, isn't here.
Yeah, I mean...
I think this is... Because, like, West Side Story, I'm assuming, isn't comedy musical.
Yeah, I mean, I presume.
All right. Comedy, here we go. Cruella.
Okay, wow. Okay, Cruella. Right.
For editing.
Okay.
Don't Look Up is here. Okay, so that and Licorice Pizza and West Side Story should all be here. The French Dispatch is here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's expected. Licorice Pizza. And Tick, Tick, Boom.
Wow.
West Side Story just missed ASC and the Eddies.
Oh,
it just missed cinematography and editing.
That's got to hurt. That has got to hurt.
What?
I mean, at least they didn't put in House of Gucci. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, at least. And like, yeah, I don't care about best documentary and animation editing. But like, okay, and this is a good time to transition into ASC because it was the 5 we would expect: Dune, Power of the Dog, Belfast, Macbeth, and then they just dropped West Side Story for Nightmare Alley. And then now they've just dropped West Side, like, what, for No Time to Die? I'm assuming for No Time to Die. Because it's not comedy musical, it's just comedy.
Oh, okay. So
I don't know what it qualified for. So either they put in Cruella or No Time to Die.
I mean, it's either Cruella or No Time to Die. So either way, it's not
over West Side Story. Is West Side Story just not as strong as we thought?
Maybe it's just not as strong in the below the line categories. I still think DeBose wins. Spielberg's still in, and West Side Story, it's still in Best Picture. I don't think West Side Story will drop out that much.
Okay, but what if Spielberg misses DGA?
If Spielberg misses DGA, I think there may be. I think West Side Story is too strong to drop out completely. Like, it's still a Best Picture film.
Oh no, I'm not saying out of Best Picture, but like, because this missed cinematography and editing, like, they obviously don't think it's like very well crafted,
which is
given the choice,
wrong,
which is wrong. But like, I don't know if DGA is a thing anymore. Probably by the time this releases, our DGA reactions will already be out. So this is past us being scared. Maybe our fears will be validated, or maybe they won't. But yeah, they dropped West Side Story again. This is very strange.
Yeah.
I really don't like this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at least for ASC, they were replacing it with Nightmare Alley, which is, I would say, number 6. Here for Cruella, I mean, or No Time to Die. Either way,
like,
there are better films that you can put in.
Do we have to consider No Time to Die for editing? Like, okay, what if West Side Story drops out? Because like Dune, Power of the Dog, and Belfast are in, and then I think we said Don't Look Up is in as well. Is it Licorice Pizza then, or King Richard? Because like Nightmare Alley is also a big miss because that was 7 on Gold Derby, so that was also snubbed for Cruella and No Time to Die. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Definitely not a comedy. Nightmare Alley. This is weird.
Wow. Okay.
What's going on with West Side Story?
I don't know.
This is also important to note the first guild that Nightmare Alley has missed.
Okay. So Nightmare Alley, yeah, because Nightmare Alley's been performing.
And it missed PGA as well. Yeah, it missed PGA. But yeah, that's interesting. This is really weird.
I mean, I don't know why though. Like outside of the whole anti-Lego drama, but that doesn't really affect the film. There's not much backlash towards the film. Like if it was Licorice Pizza dropping out, I wouldn't like it, but it would be understandable since the film is packed with a lot of controversy. It's just West Side Story. Like there's nothing that controversial about the plot or characters or anything like that.
Yeah. Eddie's an ASC. It's weird. Like I think it's impossible for West Side Story to win cinematography now, though, or win editing. Like it can't upset there anymore. I
think the only one it wins is now Ariana DeBose. It's the only choice.
Oh yeah, that's the only place it's winning now. But yeah, all right. Do you want to touch on some other things, some other guild nominations?
Sure.
So we had VES, Visual Effects Society, and they nominated 6, which were No Time to Die, Spider-Man: No Way Home, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Dune, Matrix Resurrections, and Godzilla vs. Kong. I mean, I think that our 5 will be made up of some combo of these. Eternals is done.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is the 6, and then take one out. Which one is taken out? I think at this point for me, I'd probably put maybe Godzilla vs. Kong out. Because if No Time to Die overperforms, like maybe it does pick up editing, I think visual effects would be a lot for No Time to Die if it overperforms, that is.
Yeah, for sure. Like I think Godzilla vs. Kong is probably out. Especially because that missed BAFTA long list, I believe. So I think that is the one to drop out. And the other 5 make sense. Dune, Matrix, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, and No Time to Die. But yeah, No Time to Die is looking at like sound, visual effects, song, and maybe it picks up a 4th. Editing or score, maybe.
Yeah.
Like what if editing actually is a thing? Like what if that's just actually a thing? I don't... Because it was on the BAFTA long list, I think. It was on the BAFTA long list.
I mean, looking at BAFTA and No Time to Die is, it's always going to be a bit biased.
Maybe we need to take it seriously. Like, this tells me that we don't have to take House of Gucci seriously in editing.
Thank God.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But, yeah, this feels pretty standard for VES. I don't think they snubbed anything major that was on the short list.
Yeah.
At least that I can think of. I don't know. Did you think of anything?
No, I think the only big one that it did leave off, they just show that it's done as now Eternals, as we said. I think that is the only one, really.
Yeah. Yep. And then the other ones from the short list that missed Free Guy, Ghostbusters, and Black Widow.
But yeah, I mean, they're not really going to get in.
Right. All right. So then costume designer. So contemporary, period is the one that we really have to look at. That's like the very important one. And then Dune was just in fantasy sci-fi. So like Dune got in there. And then it was Cruella, Gucci, Nightmare Alley, West Side Story, Cyrano. No Spencer.
Yeah.
I said this. Spencer's going to miss costumes.
Yeah, and I'm beginning to think Spencer might miss everything but one, which is going to be a big shame. Obviously, the one I'm referring to is actress, which even that it could miss.
Yeah, like, or it could just get the 5 bloods and just get score. Is the other possibility. Like,
yeah,
it. But yeah, but no, makeup and hair is definitely not happening. It missed the shortlist entirely. Costumes probably isn't happening anymore.
Out of cinematography as well. It was at one point, it was thinking maybe, but at this point, it's completely done.
In score, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's the 5.
If they want to put in one Johnny Greenwood one, it wouldn't be that one.
Right. It's the number 5 in Kanto and Parallel Mothers are right there. And they've been picking up way more precursors, especially in Kanto. Like, if we look at what else missed, like French Dispatch, I guess, isn't here. But that wasn't really a contender. Like, it hit all of the big ones except Spencer. So
yeah. So I mean, other than that, the 5 seem. I mean, I'd take up probably at this point Serrano and put in June, and I'd say you've got your 5 at that point.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. All right, so then let's talk about sound. So these guilds are still actually split up, as the Oscars should be, between mixing and editing. But since Academy voters are like I guess they just don't know the difference.
Yeah, it depends. I don't know the difference, but I'm not an Academy member, so I don't need to.
I actually heard a very good example the other day. Would you like to hear the difference? Okay. So mixing is like when you have all the different sounds, like the audio, like the dialogue track, any kind of like background effects, the score, and it's adjusting the levels to make all the sounds like work together in a good way. Okay. So like the 1917 scene, like where he's like running across the battlefield, that's mixing, where you have like the like the guns going off and like the score pumping and like him running, like that's mixing all the different audio tracks together. And then editing would be like, I think the example was like in Ratatouille, where they're hitting all of the things in the kitchen, because that's like the editing is like the actual recording of the sounds.
Okay.
So editing is the actual sounds, mixing is how all the sounds are put together.
Right. Okay. I mean, actually, okay, that's a good explanation.
So I don't understand why the Academy voters can't just like, I don't know, look it up like I did.
Yeah.
But whatever. Like, because like you don't have to look it up because you're not an Academy voter. Like,
my job.
I read something. Awards voters are so dumb. Sorry if you're an awards voter, but like there was one interview I read. There's a Oscars blog that's doing like anonymous interviews with different SAG voters and asking them. And one person said the only movie out of the nominations they've seen is Eyes of Tammy Faye, but they will be voting for Lady Gaga and Jared Leto because they like their music, and they're voting for Kirsten Dunst because they liked her and Bring It On when they were a kid.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're voting for Benedict Cumberbatch because they like Doctor Strange.
Academy.
They're voting for Benedict Cumberbatch because they like Doctor Strange. Like,
yeah, right. Glad these are the people voting.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Anyways, Cinema Audio Society. So this is for mixing. We have Dune, No Time to Die, Spider. I don't know what this means. I mean, it's shortlisted. It's
a possibility.
Power of the Dog, here for mixing, and then West Side Story.
Yeah.
So I will say, so they also changed how they will be presenting the sound to the Academy voters. So before the sound team could make, if you were shortlisted, you could make a 10-minute montage of all the stuff that you thought was like the best representation of the sound. But they changed it now, where now you get to pick a section of the movie no longer than 8 minutes to demonstrate the sound. So I think that hurts musicals where it's like kind of throughout. But it helps Power the Dog a lot since there's like maybe just one or two scenes, like the banjo piano scene, I would say. For instance, like there's only a few scenes where like the sound is very prevalent and it's like very, very good in those one or two scenes.
Yeah.
But like Tick Tick Boom, it could hurt because it's just a lot to pick like one section of that where it's just like music mixing could hurt it.
Yeah.
So,
That's true actually.
Just an interesting thing to touch on. But yeah, Spider-Man, very interesting.
Yeah.
And then MPSC, the sound editors, went for Belfast, Dune, Matrix, Nightmare Alley, No Time to Die, A Quiet Place, and Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So what's our overlap? Spider-Man, Dune,
Yeah.
and is that it? Oh, and No Time to Die.
No Time to Die.
Spider-Man,
Okay.
Dune, and No Time to Die are our overlaps.
Did Belfast not overlap?
Belfast got into editing, sound editing,
Okay.
but it didn't get mixing.
Well, so Spider-Man is, if you're taking it just based on that, which we aren't, but if you were to take it just based on that, Spider-Man's in.
Spider-Man's it's probably takes out Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah.
Because I think our top 4 in sound is pretty strong. Dune, West Side, No Time to Die, and Belfast. And you've seen Belfast now, and you can talk about it. But like the riot scene is very well edited and mixed.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if Belfast wasn't in sound. I think it does deserve to be.
Yeah, for sure. Even though that does seem more like mixing than editing, but whatever. Like it got into editing, not mixing. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe this guild doesn't know sound.
Yes, the actual sound designer. Yeah. Maybe Spider-Man. I mean, if Spider-Man is getting Best Picture, which I don't think it is anymore now that it missed PGA,
no.
It's not happening. But like visual effects and sound, maybe.
It's like No Time to Die, except No Time to Die should outperform it, I reckon.
Yeah. No Time to Die should have 3 locked nominations as of now. Song, editing, and visual effects. So but very, very interesting. And then we had the ADG, the Art Directors Guild, which I did not have pulled up. But the big things that missed were Spencer was the biggest thing that missed. And I don't know why. I don't know. But all the regulars were there. I know Dune was there. Getting it pulled up. We're there. Okay. So period was French Dispatch, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, Macbeth, and West Side Story. And then fantasy was Cruella, Dune, Ghostbusters, Green Knight, and Shang-Chi. And then contemporary went to Candyman, Don't Look Up, In the Heights, The Lost Daughter, and No Time to Die. Lots of Lost Daughter love and Don't Look Up, which is interesting. But like the important ones here are Cruella and Dune are here. And then all of the period ones. French Dispatch, Pizza, Alley, Macbeth, and West Side. So what missed? Cyrano.
Cyrano.
Spencer and Belfast.
Belfast
isn't here. I said this, Macbeth's in. Macbeth is the number 5.
It might well be. It might well be the number 5.
The guilds are just validating me. No Spencer in costumes, Macbeth in production design, Ricardo's in picture. Like
The guilds are it's a shame Belfast probably won't be in. I still would say Belfast is number 6, to be honest.
Yeah. It's pretty tight with Cyrano though. Gold Derby has that number 10 on the experts.
Wow.
Below Cyrano, Spencer, Power the Dog, and Cruella.
Okay. I'd place it a little higher.
Power the Dog missed too.
But I don't think production design is really on the cards for Power of the Dog.
No, like definitely the big one is Belfast. And then just Spencer and Cyrano aren't happening. Like it's I feel like we have a top 5 now. It's Dune, Nightmare Alley, West Side, French Dispatch, and Macbeth.
Yeah, probably.
And I think that's pretty locked. So very, very interesting. Lots and lots happening. with the guilds. I like Nightmare Alley is doing very well. No Time to Die is doing very well. West Side Story is not doing very well. Spencer hasn't gotten a single guild nomination yet. Like across anything, like SAG, production design, costume, like it's missed everything, which is like a disgrace, I think. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting year. This is a massive day. So have DGA and WGA to come. So all right, let's you want to do a quick review before we get into some news?
Okay.
All right. The Worst Person in the World. Let's talk about it. Just premiered at Sundance. We saw it before Sundance because we're special. And yeah, I've seen it twice. And I love this movie. I think it's like it just, I love the really punchy editing style. I think it like really perfectly encapsulates, me as someone who hasn't been in their mid to late 20s, but I feel like it encapsulates that period of time really well, and just like the thought processes of each of the characters. I think every character is developed in a very natural way that feels accurate to me. There's some beautiful cinematography. There's like a shot like where like everything is frozen around Renat Reinsva. Like it's just it's a very fun, and like it's a fun movie that's like very just like, it's nice to watch, and it does some really cool stuff. Like it's just a great movie. I don't know, it's like it's a great movie. Also, fun fact about Anders Danielson Lee, who's a supporting character in it. He's also a doctor that's been like on the front lines of like COVID this whole time while shooting Worst Person in the World, and he was in Mia Hansen-Lo's Bergman Island. So like he's like amazing. And I saw a tweet, and it's like this film would be getting like, this would be a lock for picture, screenplay, actor, supporting actor if it was in English. 100%. And it's not, because it's in Norwegian, which is disappointing. But what did you think?
So I, like you, really enjoyed it. I thought there were a couple excellent sequences, namely the one where you said everything's frozen, and also the one where she takes drugs. That's a lot of fun, very fun segment. I really enjoyed how this film was structured. I enjoyed the sort of 12 act, I guess not 12 act, but 12 sort of part
chapter
thing they were going for. I thought all the acting was phenomenal, screenplay great. It did lose me a bit towards the middle. I thought the first sort of part had a lot of energy, was very punchy, and then the final part sort of brought all that emotional weight and all of that kind of stuff. I did think it lost me a bit in the middle, where I guess we were just exploring these characters' lives. And the only reason it didn't completely work for me is because I'm not a 20-year-old. So I feel like maybe in a few years, in maybe 10 years down the line, I'm going to look back on this film and it's going to be, maybe one of my favorites ever. I do think, as you said, it really does encapsulate that sort of era. It's just one I've not experienced yet. So I couldn't connect completely with the characters, but it's one of the best made movies I've seen this year.
So many phenomenal films this year about that period of life. Tick, Tick, Boom, Worst Person in the World, Bo Burnham Inside. Like some really great movies about not wanting to turn 30.
Yes.
But yeah. This should absolutely, I don't know. I haven't seen Drive My Car yet, but like out of the nominees, since Titan isn't here, this should win international, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I have it slightly above Flea personally. Though those are very close, but like, I don't know. I can't wait to see Drive My Car, but like, I have a hard time believing that will be this, because this is just like a joyous film. Like, it's just like, it's a celebration of a movie. That like, it doesn't take itself too seriously, like in tone, but you get emotionally invested through the characters rather than the narrative, which I think is really interesting. And like, Renat Reinsva deserves a Best Actress nomination.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
She's incredible. This is also like her first or second movie. Like, she's a newcomer.
Wow.
And she crushed it. Like, she should be getting like breakthrough performance nominations everywhere. Like, she is absolutely incredible in this. I mean, yeah, it's like it's just a great movie. It's hard to really talk about it because there's just like, I feel like I'm just saying, yeah, this was good and this was good and this was good, but I've very little to criticize. Like, I get what you're saying about like it slowing down in the middle. But I feel like that was kind of necessary to get the emotional resonance in the third act. To kind of,
Yeah.
I think we needed to slow down and get to know the characters. Otherwise, a couple of, I don't think I won't spoil it, but there's a couple of moments later on that I just don't think would have worked without that middle section. So, and this is, people are loving it at Sundance. Like, people are absolutely loving it. Like, this had the perfect release strategy to come out at Sundance and give everybody, like, in the US, oh, this is actually a great movie, because only people at Cannes had seen it before this, and then some critics who got screeners. So, like, I don't know. I think Worst Person in the World is still number 2. I've said this. I know you dropped it off your. I think you're having it at 3 or 4.
Yeah, I'd probably put it 4 right now. I just don't see it winning anymore. I really, really don't. I don't see it winning.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the film. You know, just go watch it. Pretty much, just go watch it. Is what I say.
It's a great movie. It comes out theaters February 4th, so it comes out in theaters in a week. At least in the US. I don't know about other countries.
I believe it's March 25th here.
Okay. But yeah, like, just see this movie, support this movie, because it is a great film. Like, it's really, really a great film. I hope that Yoshim Troyer, like, gets his moment at the Academy Awards soon. Like, he deserves to win. Like, I've been trying to go back and watch through some of his stuff, and he's just been a great filmmaker for, like, ever. So he really, really deserves his moment. So yeah, it's just a really, really beautiful film. I mean, the cinematography is gorgeous, editing's gorgeous. I love all the needle drops in it. Like, there's some great musical moments that, again, really just, like, they drive home every piece of the character. There's an amazing scene where a character is, like, miming, like, he's listening to music and he's miming, like, drums, and, like, the editing in that scene alone is just gorgeous. It's, like, cutting around to everything. Like, it's really, really great.
It's also a pretty funny film as well. You know?
It's a very funny film. So overall, it's just it's a great film. Everybody needs to go watch it, because why wouldn't you? Why? Just watch the movie. We're telling you to go watch it now. Like, well, you can't help it. Like, watch it. Okay. Should we move on to some news? There's gonna be a shorter show because we want to have time to talk about DJ and WGA later. Because
okay.
Okay, let's talk about news. Lots of stuff happened at Sundance. I was at Sundance. I saw 20 movies, and now I'm very tired. But there was a lot of great stuff, and we have some stuff that has gotten picked up. And talk about the stuff that got picked up. Fresh got picked up by Searchlight out of Sundance. It's dropping Hulu March 4th. I didn't get tickets to see this one because it was picked up pre-festival for March 4th. So I was like, I'd rather see stuff that hasn't been given a release date yet. But this is supposedly just a really, really insane movie. Sebastian Stan, Daisy Edgar Jones. And it's like, Sebastian Stan is incredible. And it's just like a really messed up film. Like, I've tried to stay away from spoilers, but I've heard a very messed up film. Searchlight makes sense for it. I think it can be very big on Hulu.
Yeah, from what I know about it, it feels like one of those sort of stories that a lot of people gravitate towards.
Yeah, this is going to be
whether that be a good thing or a bad thing.
Like, this is the type of movie that stays on, like, number 1 on the most popular of the week on Letterboxd for like 2 weeks. Like, it's not going to pick up any kind of award stuff. Except, like, I could see maybe some critics groups going for it at the end of the year, but nothing yet. Another thing that I will touch on, just a couple that I didn't get a chance to see, that could be a thing, is Resurrection, starring Rebecca Hall. This is supposedly like the Toni Collette in Hereditary or Lupita Nyong'o in Us of this year. A great performance that critics will go for, that, like, just isn't going to show up at any, Oscars, SAG, anything like that because of genre. So but that's definitely something to look out for at critics groups. Good luck to you, Leo Grande. Also picked up by Searchlight. Disney just went crazy. Disney went crazy at at Sundance, because they also Nat Geo picked up one of the best films of the festival, which I'll talk about in a second. But this is Elizabeth Banks, her last film. That's her name, right?
Maybe. I mean,
1 second. I think I all of the EB ones that are like, I think British, I get confused. What's her name? Emma Thompson, who's Elizabeth Banks. Emma Thompson, because she had a late night premiere at Sundance in 2019,
okay.
which got picked up by Amazon and I think did pretty well. Like it got some noms at different critic circles, and then it didn't get Oscars, obviously, but like it's like supposedly the same type of thing. I could see some critics groups going for it, especially if Searchlight does something with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, National Geographic picks up Fire of Love from Sundance. This is probably winning Sundance documentary. I think the awards happen tomorrow, so we'll know then. But this is like, it'd be shocking if this didn't win. This is a phenomenal film. It very much fits National Geographic. They've obviously won before with Free Solo, and I think other times they have The Rescue, which is going to get nominated this year. Like, National Geographic is big. They might get double nominated this year if The First Wave ends up picking up a nomination. But yeah, coming off of a Sundance win, I mean, look at the two that won at Sundance this year. Summer of Soul and Flea. What are the two front runners for the Oscars? Summer of Soul and Flea. Yeah. So like, Sundance is big for docs, and this is the best documentary of the festival in Nat Geo's hands. I honestly could see this winning at the Oscars for best documentary.
Okay.
I think it's our early front runner, especially after it will most assuredly win at Sundance. It's our early front runner. It has Nat Geo. Like I said, Disney went crazy. They also picked up another documentary, which I can't remember the name of, but Nat Geo picked up 2 docs from the fest. Sony Pictures Classics picked up Living. This is the Ikiru remake with Bill Nighy, and it's great. It's like a very, very good movie. Bill Nighy is incredible. The cinematography is gorgeous. The production design is incredible. The score is like beautiful. It was one of my favorite films of the festival. I think it's in my top 5 of the festival. This is going to get a ridiculously large amount of BAFTA nominations. Like so many. And yeah, like Sony Pictures Classics, like they have done well in the past with some stuff. Like they had The Father last year. They don't really have anything this year. They kind of are struggling this year. I mean, they have The Duke, which is on the BAFTA long list for best British feature, but like occasionally they'll have something. And like, look, I mean, they got Hopkins a Best Actor win for The Father, and Bill Nighy is also playing a man who is dying. Spoilers for Ikiru, which came out 70 years ago. But like, maybe it's a British film. I mean, Bill Nighy's overdue as well.
Yeah, it's never nominated.
Beloved actor. I'm not saying that he's going to win, but like a nomination could be in the cards. Yeah. He's very good. He's very, very good. And we saw that we don't care about remakes like of classic films because West Side Story is doing great. I mean, maybe not to dismiss ASC and ACE, but like for the most part, West Side Story is doing great, and it'll probably get nominated for picture and director and screenplay and supporting actors and everything. So this could be a thing. This could very much be a thing. 892 hasn't been picked up by anybody yet, but John Boyega is also very good in that. So that could also be another thing that we see at a lot of critic circles. I don't know about an Oscar nom, but that could be a thing. But the big one, everybody, is Cha Cha Real Smooth. It's already at a 4.0 on Letterboxd. I think it's at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes still. Like, it is an incredible film, and Apple just got it for $15 million this morning.
I mean, they're gonna have to pay for Apple again soon.
But yeah, Apple picked it up, and this is I even said this to you before Apple picked it up. It's Coda. This movie is Coda. Yeah. It is the heartwarming, like feel good crowd pleaser that's very funny, but also very like there's a lot of great emotional moments that will make you cry, but then also you're gonna start laughing because it's a very, very funny movie. And it's just like it's beautiful all around. It's like I think it's going to get the Coda nominations. I think screenplay is its strongest chance, original screenplay. And then if it can get supporting actors for Dakota Johnson, which is very deserving. Obviously, we're only in January, but like she's amazing. She's like very, very good. She's also great in Am I Okay, which is another Sundance movie that will get nothing. But Dakota Johnson's like having a renaissance with The Lost Daughter and then these two at Sundance. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I think that she's more deserving than Buckley for The Lost Daughter. Even though Buckley is picking up all the supporting nominations for Lost Daughter, I prefer to see Dakota Johnson be getting in. And yeah, she's great in this movie.
Plus, it would also be great if like both Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson going in the same year. That would be brilliant. That would make my year.
That would be so funny. That would actually be so funny. Watch Jamie Dornan not get nominated for Belfast, but get nominated for Barb and Star. And supporting. In the Indiana Film Critics like journalist group, they nominated him. I saw Jamie Dornan was like, Barb and Star. But yeah, it's like if it can, I feel good about screenplay. If they can get supporting actress, it's in picture. At least as of now with 10. I mean, like if it wins Sundance, which again it should, it would be shocking if this movie didn't win Sundance. Then it's like it follows in the footsteps of Minari and Coda. They're very similar movies tonally. A24, Apple, A24 and Apple are now like merging. Like I mean, we saw that with Macbeth. They have a deal now.
Yeah. I like it.
A24's next film, The Sky is Everywhere, comes out in February, and it's going to be exclusively on Apple. So Apple's partnering with A24. So like Apple / A24 is just picking up all of the best from Sundance, and like they're doing like I don't know. I thought that they were failing at campaigning Coda, but like it looks like it's going to get picture. It looks like they got Coates in.
Yeah.
Screenplay.
I mean, that might be just due to the film's merit rather than the campaigning.
Yes.
But equally, Mass, I think it's a problem is Bleecker Street. If Mass was from a different person, it would be getting Best Picture.
100%. Yeah, Cha-Cha Real Smooth still at 100%. I was just double checking myself. Okay. Still at 100% on Tomatoes. It has an 8.2 on IMDb, which is very good. The Letterboxd is a 4.0. Like, people love this movie. People love this movie. I want to see what Coda's at. Coda is a 96 on Rotten Tomatoes, 8.1 on IMDb. So like, this is even better. Like critically so far, even better. This Cha-Cha Real Smooth. It's not a Best Picture winner. I'll say that. Okay. This is not a Best Picture winner.
I mean, neither is Coda really say
because like there's it's not going to get any tech noms. I think editing is. I mean, I really like the editing, but it's not going to be nominated. So like tech noms won't happen, but above the line, like it's just a very well written movie. It's one of the most like grounded and real feeling films, just in the performances and the writing. Like I think Cooper Raiff would even be deserving of a lead actor nomination. Okay. It won't happen, but like this is a really, really great movie, and I'd be shocked if this doesn't at least get screenplay at bare minimum. Screenplay should happen. So
okay.
Be interesting, but it's going to Apple. And that's the Sundance talk. There's a couple of other movies, like After Yang I loved, premiered at Cannes though. So it's A24 already has it. It'll get critics nominations. It's not coming anywhere close to the Oscars. A Love Song was picked up by like Kino Lorber or something. So like that isn't going anywhere. So Alice could have been a contender, but it was just bad, so it's not gonna be a thing. So yeah, all right, let's finish out some news because we have a lot. Critics' Choice has decided to move to the same day as BAFTA. Like they tried to do this the same day as Golden Globes, and now they're just trying to do the same day as BAFTA.
Yeah.
I don't understand why, because like they're
I
trying to
don't
have like,
understand why, because moving to same day as Golden Globes, it's maybe a ploy to remove Golden Globes from existence.
right,
Whereas BAFTA, I'd say BAFTA is probably slightly more popular
right.
than Critics' Choice. So
Why are
that's
they
an
trying to go
interesting
after
move.
BAFTA? Also,
Yeah,
they're trying to have like a big like telecast with a bunch of like the celebrities and stuff to like establish themselves. That ain't gonna happen if like half of them are at BAFTA.
no, maybe it's all a secret ploy to get rid of the Critics' Choice, and whoever's behind the scenes want to get rid of it. So we'll move it to Golden Globes. Oh no, they're not popular. Fine, we'll move it to BAFTA. Maybe that's a conspiracy theory.
We're conspiracy theorizing, but but yeah, it's just weird. It probably won't have any bearing on the race, but like this is just it's weird.
Yeah.
It's strange. I don't. It's weird. Um, okay, so let's talk about the Berlin Film Festival because there's some stuff that's here that's interesting. One Sundance thing that I didn't touch on is Call Jane from writer director Phyllis Nage, previous nominee for Call Jane, or sorry, for Carol, the other one that starts with a C. I don't know. I feel like it's too soft for an Oscar-nominated film. It was very like light.
Right.
I think that all of the performances are good, especially Sigourney Weaver. She's very, very good. But like, I don't know. It's like it was just consistently like a fine to good film, and it never was like, oh, that's a great movie. It never had that moment. So I don't know. I could see like Art Directors Guild or like Costume Designers Guild might nominate it, but I don't see anything happening for it at the Oscars.
Right.
But that's at Berlin though, so
Okay.
they're trying to push for it. As is Good Luck to You, Leo Grande from Sundance. That's also reappearing there. As is A Love Song, which I just talked about at Sundance. The Outfit could be interesting. From Graham Moore, director. It stars Mark Rylance and Zoe Deutsch, and it's a British like spy movie. So I don't know. I could see it just being like The Courier, something where like it's like, oh, maybe, and then nobody cares. So I don't know. What are some of the bigger ones? So the opening night film is Peter von Kant. I don't think it will be anything. Claire Denis, who did High Life. She's a very well respected director. She has a film, Both Sides of the Blade, premiering here, which will be fun. I like some Claire Denis. What else is here? Hong Sang-soo has a new film. I think it's The Novelist's film, I think is what it's called. I mean, maybe he'll get his moment, but like really the stuff to look at here is like all of the Sundance stuff that's repeating, which is the big ones are Called Jane and Good Luck to You, Leo Grande. So Berlin will be interesting. I think the big thing is to take note of what wins.
Okay.
But like even then, Berlin hasn't supplied that much. Like last year, I think the biggest contender to come out of Berlin was like Petite Maman from Celine Sciamma, and like the year before it was Never Rarely, Sometimes Always. So like they don't always have like the biggest stuff. It's a lot. It's like Cannes light. It's like the auteurs that like couldn't get into Cannes.
Okay.
So shouldn't be too big, but we'll see. This one's interesting. Daniel Radcliffe is going to play Weird Al Yankovic in the film called Weird, the Weird Al Yankovic story. And it's going to be produced by Adam McKay and his company Funny or Die.
Okay. I mean, interesting choice. I don't think I've ever seen Daniel Radcliffe be good, to be honest. He's not good in the Harry Potter films. And no one's going to prove me wrong about that. He wasn't good in Woman in Black. He was even in Now You See Me Too, which he was, again, not very good in. So I've never seen him be good.
I don't know. This is a weird.
He was in that Guns Akimbo. I didn't never see it, but
I didn't see it either. He's very funny. He did an SNL sketch where he played Harry Potter. That was funny.
okay.
Yeah, no, this is weird. I don't like this. Why?
I mean, yeah, I'd say I like probably 50% of what Adam McKay does. So there's a 50-50 shot. It'll be good.
Because Adam McKay also produced Fresh as well. So Adam McKay is stepping up his producing game. And speaking of Adam McKay, he is going to be directing a film about the January 6th insurrection. So, Thomas, are you familiar with this?
I literally never heard of it.
So this happened January 6th, 2020. It was when President Joe Biden had been elected, and they had to, like, the entire, like, Congress, like, has to, like, ratify that he was, like, elected and everything.
Oh, this one. Yeah.
Like,
I know what it is. I didn't know it was called the insurrection. But
yes, yeah.
I do know what you're about.
All of the Trump supporters, not all of them, but a lot of them, a couple thousand of them, stormed the Capitol building and, like, infiltrated it and, like, were threatening to kill Congress people. And it was a thing.
It was a thing. I do remember that.
I don't know how I feel about a movie happening so soon.
Yeah, I mean, it would make for a great movie. Let's be honest. Like,
yeah, no, this will be especially in the hands of McKay. Like,
yeah,
this will be great. But, like, I don't know. People pointed to The Social Network, which happened like 8-9 years after the events of the what was happening. Because I think when did Zuckerberg? When was he in college? Like, I think it was early 2000s, and the film was 2010.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess. And, like, McKay is still doing his Silicon Valley film before this. So it
might be like 2024, 2025 when it's released. In which case, 5 years, you know.
Yeah, this won't be for another 5 years, in which case it'll be 6 or 7 years removed. Still feels a bit early, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, next piece of news. Speaking about things that won't be around for a while, BBC and Netflix announced a new Wallace and Gromit film, and it's coming in 2024. Like, I get that stop motion takes a while, but, like, maybe just announce it, like, then instead of, I don't know. Yeah. Like, we're getting so far our 2024 contenders are the January 6th movie and Wallace and Gromit duking it out for Best Picture. I don't know, whatever. I
mean, yeah, interesting partnership. I mean, I wouldn't really have expected Netflix, a multi-million, billion probably dollar corporation, to pick up Wallace and Gromit. Which is because, you know, the first Wallace and Gromit had to be censored, or not censored, changed rapidly because people thought it was too British, and they wouldn't understand it. So it got changed quite a bit. So you know, Netflix and an American corporation with Wallace and Gromit, it's an interesting pairing, but I'm excited to see it.
So The Curse of the Were-Rabbit is like the biggest feature film. Did that get nominated?
I mean, maybe. I mean, what came out that year?
Curse of the Were-Rabbit was nominated for animated feature. So, it also won Best British Film. That's interesting. That was under the distribution of DreamWorks. Now they're under Netflix. But, like, we've seen stop motion do well. Like, we just had Shaun the Sheep get nominated last year.
Yeah.
So, like, they obviously aren't.
Also Aardman.
Huh?
It's also Aardman.
Yeah.
So, you know, they do well, Aardman.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. Maybe this is the thing. This could happen. This could happen. 2024. We'll look back on this 2 years from now, when we're imagine we're still doing this show. They're like, Wallace and Gromit finally came out. Okay, this is interesting. So the Chin and Vesser-Haley, I think I'm pronouncing the woman's name wrong, but Vesser-Haley, but they're the duo who directed Free Solo and The Rescue. Okay. They're making their narrative feature debut, and it will star Annette Bening and Jodie Foster. And the film is called Naiad, and the film is about a woman who at age 64 became the first person to swim from Cuba to Florida without a shark cage. It took 53 hours and was 110 miles. Bening will play the swimmer, and Foster will play her coach.
Yeah.
This looks like it could be a thing, especially in the hands like they have a very naturalistic directing style, obviously from the two amazing documentaries that they made for Solo and the Rescue. So like this feels something that like if they could have found it happening in real time, they would be making a documentary about. But yeah, them going into narrative could be interesting. Like I don't know, maybe this happens for the
know how to tell a story, so that definitely helps.
Yeah, no, they're incredible storytellers. I don't know. I don't like this. Doesn't feel like a picture or director thing for me, but like I could see the actresses maybe happening. I believe this is coming out sometime this year. So this is a this year contender. I've started making my prediction sheet for 2023.
Not gonna wait until at least the first Oscars is over. No.
Well, we won't do our predictions until then, but I've started graphing out what I'm thinking. I've been looking at Twitter polls, like I've been like looking at different online polls, trying to see where it is, because Gold Derby usually doesn't come out with theirs until May or June.
Right. So, okay.
I'm trying. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see when it comes out. I don't know who the distributors are behind it. Like, it'll be interesting I'd imagine if they wanted to stick in like the Nat Geo Disney family, like they'd probably go to Searchlight with this.
Yeah, probably.
Which, I mean, Searchlight usually does very well. This year, not so much. Like, I think their biggest contender is Nightmare Alley. Like, they probably won't have a picture nomination. But like they had Shape of Water win. I believe that was Searchlight, right?
That was Searchlight. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, yeah, they had Jojo Rabbit win screenplay. So like they do well. They do well. And I think this could be a thing.
It could indeed.
Knives Out 2 is coming this fall, and it is expected to have a festival run. From inside sources at Netflix. They're supposedly gearing it up for a festival run, which is weird because we don't typically see sequels. I guess we had The Souvenir Part 2 this past year at festivals, but like for a high profile sequel like this, it's interesting. Obviously the first film was nominated for original screenplay. It got in I think it got in AFI's top 10. I can't remember if it got PGA or not. I think it did.
Probably.
I think it got PGA. So I don't see the sequel happening for anything.
No, I mean, it's a completely different cast,
right? So it isn't necessarily a sequel. It's like
exactly
from Benoit Blanc.
Craig
coming back.
So it's got more. It's a franchise, I guess, because they're clearly trying to turn it into a franchise. That can feel each story unique.
Right. So there's the potential.
It's going to be interesting.
Because it would be going into adapted, which is weird.
Yeah.
But like since there's one returning character, it has to go into adapted. I believe if it kept the title but had no returning characters or no connection at all, then it would be original. But I believe since Benoit Blanc is in this one as well, going to adapted. So be interesting. It would be interesting. It might benefit it like being more original though over some of the other adapted screenplay contenders, such as something like Macbeth or West Side Story this year, like those types of movies next year where it's just almost word for word. I guess West Side Story changed quite a bit, but like Macbeth, like I think they'd rather go with something that feels more original than that in the adapted category. So I think its chances are significantly lower than the first one, but we'll have to see how it does at festivals. If they feel confident, because they obviously feel confident enough to put it in festivals. They don't have to, especially since it's Netflix. So maybe. Yeah. Alex Garland, we like him. Ex Machina, Annihilation, pretty good director. He has a movie called Men coming out this year, I believe. But he's going to be reteaming with A24 to direct Civil War, an action sci-fi epic, a large-scale action sci-fi epic starring Kirsten Dunst. I'm happy that Dunst is getting stuff again after Power of the Dog. Like we got our Dunstissance.
Yes.
And I'm going to make that a thing. Like Annihilation didn't get any nominations. Ex Machina got one visual effects. Did it get sound?
Maybe. I mean, it won visual effects. So.
Yeah. It surprising, shockingly beating Star Wars. And I think it got into a couple of picture categories at like different critics groups. I can't remember if it got like AFI or something like that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not expecting this for that much, but I don't know.
I mean, it's how it's gone, so
right.
You know,
Like
this
is
wasn't a massive fan of Annihilation. I thought it was very overhyped. But you know, he's in safe hands with this film.
yeah. Like I like him as a director. This is more something I'm excited about than that could be like a real contender. But we'll see. We'll see. MGM has given Ron Howard's 13 Lives, which is just a narrative version of The Rescue. It's just that story, but narrative. An awards prime November release date after very positive test screenings. I believe Taron Egerton is leading this. It has a pretty decent cast. I can't remember the full cast of it, but like, yeah, it was supposed to come out in May. Did some test screenings, overwhelmingly positive, so they pushed it back to November to give it an awards run. This could be a thing. It's so it's Viggo Mortensen, Colin Farrell, and Joel Edgerton, not Taron.
Okay.
Joel Edgerton, Colin Farrell, and Viggo Mortensen. So decent cast.
Yeah.
Ron Howard, his last film, Hillbilly Elegy, picked up, I think, supporting actress in makeup and hair. But like, he's had some awards contenders in the past. So,
Beautiful Mind won.
Beautiful Mind. Yeah. So it's obviously a great story. We've seen it come to life this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's my only worry. Like we've had one. we know the story, and it was told brilliantly in The Rescue.
Yeah.
So I mean, they need to be adding something a bit more different to it. Obviously, they are doing it narratively based, but still, you're going to need to do something to wow me, really.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And it's weird. We're kind of seeing the reverse of that because at Sundance, there was The Princess and Lucy and Desi, which are just documentary versions of Spencer and Bean Dark Artists. So
yeah,
it's weird. It's twin films. But yeah, like I think that obviously it has to be considered. Like this story, it's a like really, really true. It's a really, really fascinating true story. It's put in the hands of a Best Picture winning director. I don't know if he won director for A Beautiful Mind.
I do not recall.
Okay. But he's a great director. We'll just leave it at that. Yeah. He has a pretty good track record at the Oscars. Even Hillbilly Elegy, which is some would call one of his worst films, still picked up 2 nominations. So this has to be considered. MGM's confident in it. MGM will probably be able to put everything behind this. I don't think they have anything else. So this could be a thing.
Yeah.
All right, last 2 pieces of news here. Francis Ford Coppola is planning to shoot his epic Megalopolis in fall 2022. The rumored cast members, they aren't confirmed, but it's like pretty much confirmed. Oscar Isaac, Cate Blanchett, Michelle Pfeiffer, Jessica Lange, and Zendaya. So that cast. Half of Dune. And like it's Coppola. This is rumored to be his last film. This is he said this is the film that he's wanted to make for like 50 years. He has like concept sketches of exactly what he wants. Like he's been developing the screenplay since he was like 20. Like this is like his magnum opus.
Yeah. Okay.
So this will be contending in 2023. It obviously won't be done for this season or the 2022-2023 season. So this will be contending in the 23-24 season.
Knowing Popular, it might not even be then.
Yeah, depending on how long it takes. Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe this will join Wallace and Gromit in 2024.
Yeah.
But this is obviously a big thing.
Yeah,
Coppola is one of the most esteemed directors of all time. I mean, The Godfather, Apocalypse Now. Need I say more? And I could say more. He's an incredible director. I feel like they're gonna want to honor. I'd be shocked if he didn't. I mean, not knowing anything about the film, I'd be shocked if he didn't get a director nomination.
Yeah.
Like, he might even win director. Again,
He
without
might.
even seeing the film.
Yeah.
It's Coppola. What do you
I mean,
want?
it might win Best Picture. Let's be honest.
Honestly,
has a good chance.
Yeah, like this has to be considered a front runner for the 23-24 season as of now. Yeah. Last piece of news though. Bradley Cooper's next directorial effort, Maestro, his follow-up to A Star Is Born, starts shooting in May. I doubt this will be done for this season, but I don't know.
Probably not.
We'll see. It's been on some early polls. But I don't know. I don't think we know anything about it. Oh, we do. They actually just released a plot synopsis. Cool.
Okay.
It is going to star Bradley Cooper, Jeremy Strong, and Carey Mulligan. And it is about Leonard Bernstein. It's a biopic about Leonard Bernstein. In the 40s. So that could be interesting. I mean, we love our biopics. He's one of the most famous conductors of all time. I could see. I'm assuming Bradley Cooper is. I think Bradley Cooper is playing Leonard Bernstein.
Yeah, probably.
So like he could do some crazy stuff with like the makeup and hair, and Bradley Cooper could just go crazy. Like we saw him go crazy in Licorice Pizza. He could go crazy here. He could be like all over the place, like like opposite of what Simon Helberg did in Annette, where he was just like calm and like don't, you know. And we could see something like that where Bradley Cooper's just like freaking out. I don't know. This could be a thing. Like this could absolutely be a thing. Actually, like very much so. They loved The Star Is Born. The Academy loved it. They ate it up. They gobbled it, and they said, please, more. And then now Bradley Cooper's giving them more.
Yeah.
Another music-based thing. Like, he clearly has a thing here with music films. This is, I mean, this could be massive at the Golden Globes.
Yeah, could be something the Golden Globes go for.
Definitely throw it into Oscars contention. I don't know. I think this absolutely be a thing. We're into that period of the season where we're starting to see the contenders emerge for the next season.
Yes.
So
not even had the most recent Oscars yet, but still lots to talk about in terms of next year.
Yes, but that is the show. Not too much to like. There was a lot to talk about. Just like not that much you can talk about it. A lot of very limited information. But hope you enjoyed the show, everybody. That is the end of the show. We will have WGA nominations. Actually, while we were recording this, they dropped. Got an alert on my phone. Very excited to react to those. We'll be recording that next. So that will be out right around the same time that this comes out. We're going to be putting lots out. I'll also have a Sundance Recap video up where I'll break down everything that I saw, and its potential chances, and also just what was good and what wasn't. So that is the show. Thomas, where can the people on the internet find you?
You can find me at Letterboxd at Thomas Gladstone and at YouTube at Payment Pictures.
You can find me at Letterboxd at Trevor Mattson and YouTube, aside from here, at The Basement. So that is the show. Thank you, everybody, once again so much for watching, and we will see you guys very soon for DGA and WJ, and next week for Oscar Buzz.